This is lot 545. A Wootton Bassett colt which Star Thoroughbreds has just purchased for $250,000 at the Magic Millions. He was a colt that I'd sort of identified at Sledmere Stud last month on my rounds as a colt that looked like a real running type by his stallion, by his sire, Wootton Bassett. As we know, they hit the ground running here in Australia, and then of course obviously overseas in Europe. In the last 12 months he's just gone from strength to strength, siring Group 1 winner after Group 1 winner. So he's now considered one of the elite stallions in the world. So to be able to buy a colt by a stallion like Wootton Bassett for $250,000, a nice running type with a really good pedigree, very, very pleased. And again, it's another great value buy for Star Thoroughbreds clients. It's there was a lot of the Wootton Bassets have been making very good money. In fact, one of them yesterday made $1.7 million. So as I said, to be able to buy a colt this nice with this sort of a pedigree for $250,000, I think it's just excellent buying. Money well spent. The client's money has been very well spent in this case. So definitely, if you're interested in Wootton Bassett and you want a colt that's you're not going to have to wait a long time for, I certainly think this colt's a colt that looks like he's going to be up and going fairly early. And he's an August foal. My notes, one of the things I said, he's got a great girth on him, and he's a very good doing colt. I remember seeing him at the farm, and I thought I know Sledmere did a great job with their preparations, but he came out, he actually looked a little bit tubby, and I thought that's not like Sledmere. I'm sure that they're trying to keep the weight off him, but he just looks like a horse that is very hard to keep the weight off, and they would have been feeding him the bare minimum. So again, that's a great sign. It means that the horse is handling everything in his stride. As you can see now, he's out up and about walking around, and he's a nice and relaxed colt with a good brain, and just makes horses like with that sort of demeanour and that sort of attitude and that constitution so much easier for the trainers to train, jockeys to ride, and again it's just easier to get them fitter if they have that sort of constitution and that sort of attitude. As you can see, he's got a nice strong walk on him, great hind quarter on him. It's got good bone. I mean, there's not much not to like about this colt at all. Comes from a really good family. It's one of my favourite Australian families. It's a family of, you can't quite see him on the page, or you look down the bottom, it's the family of Sedative. And it's a great family. It's been a fairly precocious family. Most of the horses have been able to race well as 2-year-olds and then train well as 3, like Sedative himself was champion 2-year-old, Australian 2-year-old, and then trained on at 3 and was champion Australian 3-year-old. We've got Melito, you can see there, she was a champion Australian 3-year-old filly, a dual Group 1 winner by Redoute's Choice. Furnaces won the Kindergarten. Scorched Earth, she was a Nakoni mare that won at Moonee Valley, a stakes win down there. And then obviously his dam, you can see High Chaparral. She won up to 1,500 metres. So again, as we know, most High Chaparrals probably liked a little bit of distance, but this family, as I said, it's a precocious family, and it's a family that gets horses up and running nice and early. They certainly appreciate, trips of between 1,200 metres to a mile, and that's exactly where I think this colt will fit in. I think he'll fit in really nicely to the Chris Waller stable, and I think whoever buys a share in this colt is going to have a lot of fun.